I want to grow my own shit.
It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma.
DC Pharma Show.
It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma. Shay! Used to get my piece from AZ. Mary Jane is the case that they gave me. Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma show the masses how to grow grass. No till the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big Worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up.
What up, y'all? It's your boy DC Pharma. Coming at y'all again with another episode of the DC Pharma Show. Today, it's going to be a little different today. I didn't call on a guest today because I wanted to talk about the soil and soil life and no-till and all that good stuff today. So to all y'all that don't grow, it might be born and it might not be. But stick with me, hear me out, and see what I got going on.
Hey.
But with that being said, man, shout out to everybody out there in the chat and YouTube. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat and IG. Thanks for coming through. I want to introduce my boy Stoner Oh So Well.
What up?
And then we got my man.
Hey, DOD stands for Dabbed Out Dubs, not the Department of Defense. Hey.
You can follow us all on IG, y'all. Now, before we get into it tonight, like I always want to do, I want to do my shout outs. Shout out to Trollmasters.agro on IG for helping me out with my environment control in my grow room or in my grow, greenhouse. Definitely look them up on IG. Them dudes is vicious. They gonna put you on the right way, and they are very, very cost efficient. I also want to shout out Listen Vision Live, y'all. Listen Vision. Every Tuesdays, Tasty Tuesdays, right? That's how it's going down this week. Make sure you check out the cannabis table. Mention DC Pharma, you get a free gift. Man, look, since they want to do that, y'all, come down, man. Come down, mention, just say DC Pharma. Empty their table out. Get all the free gifts you can, man. I definitely, I also was shouting out who had Thursdays. I want to shout out
One Deuce.
We can shout out definitely One Deuce for sure.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, go ahead. One Deuce for sure. Thursdays. Blunt Facts.
Yeah.
It's a Blunt Facts.
It's a
dank look on the city, but the show is called. What was the show called?
Blunt Facts. He got Blunt Facts too.
Okay. So that on Thursdays. Also Thursday, I'm gonna be doing a live stream with Embracing Organics. Definitely reach out to them dudes. I appreciate them having me on. I caught their last stream, and they was talking organics and different products to use and all that. Okay. I was chiming in my 2 cents here and there, but I also feel to realize that organics grow different ways and people grow differently on organics. So they're gonna definitely have me on their show to show how I grow my organics or whatever have you. So definitely tune in for that.
What time?
Every Thursdays.
What time we gonna check that out?
I'm gonna post it up on my IG, but I want to say 8 o'clock Eastern because they going off of Western time. Oh, wow. So I got to be more specific on that, but I will be posting that on my IG. It's either somewhere between 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern time for sure, though. Embracing Organics, definitely follow those dudes, man. They have a whole round table about growing organically or synthetically in your soil or whatever. But Freestyle Fridays, right? It's going to be live at Listen Vision and Freestyle Fridays, y'all. And again,
get it.
Cannabis DC table will be in the building.
What you got to
So, free gifts if you mention the DC Pharma Show.
Right.
Free gifts, so make sure you empty them. And when I say free gift, I mean it, man. They're going to give you something for free. So make sure you check them out. Now, I have these two gentlemen up here because we wanted to talk about as well before we get into it tonight. The movement that's going on for cannabis seeds to homeless.
Hey.
So won't you go out and go ahead and start with you? And with that being said, I have been recruited to the DC Scrogger team.
Man, that man's cheating like shit. He
Don't
like
even worry
Dan
about
Snyder,
it, man.
you know what I'm saying? In the flag football tournament, man.
Hey man, look,
He cheated, man.
How he get you?
Yeah, man. He got my players. You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, I reached out to Scrogger though, man. I reached out to Scrogger.
Both of y'all, like he did what?
Well, yeah, I reached out to Scrogger for sure. It just make sure, man. Look, I'm gonna let them tell y'all about it, but make sure y'all tune into it because it's gonna be all fun. 7-on-7 flag football. Mm-hmm. All donations and proceeds is going for the homeless. And y'all go ahead and get into more detail for that before I keep running on.
So Cannabis Sees the Homeless. It was right after Cannabis Sees Cannabis Sees No Color started 2 years ago by DC Scrogger. It's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, to help people who are homeless. Myself, I was homeless for a while. I used to stay over at 801 East, the shelter over at St. Elizabeth. Shout out to the South Side. But this all started, you know what I'm saying, like 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like if people would have brought some clothes, they would have gotten a free gift. But now, you know what I'm saying, like shout out to Good Gas Cannabis. He decided, you know what I'm saying, we should have like a 7-on-7 tournament, you know what I'm saying, for the community, you know what I'm saying, had the community involved, you know what I'm saying, so we can at least take, you know what I'm saying, what the Initiative 71, you know what I'm saying, has done for us, which is, you know what I'm saying, gifting. Now, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, like we do have teams. Shout out to Dank Boys, District Dabbers, Manny Pack Be Loud, C-Bars, you know what I'm saying, under the small, start small, move big movement. Blunt Facts, you know what I'm saying, got a team. You know what I'm saying, part, you know what I'm saying, shout out to you know what I'm saying, being on Scrogger's team. I got my team, DOD, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to bring out the 93 Woodrow Wilson championship players, you know what I'm saying, the best 40-year-olds out there, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, 40 years, they the best in their prime. You understand me? But
so you didn't say everything but the best team out there, man. Start small, move big.
I
man.
did, man. Didn't I
man.
just say that?
No, you did not.
You said start small, move big, but you did say the best team out there is Team Scrogger, so don't even worry about
I
it.
said DOT, you know what I'm saying.
Bum ass dudes, yo.
But yeah.
But what I like about this is, like, this is what needs to happen with the cannabis community as well. Like we all making money. Let's keep it real. No faking. Everybody got their foot on this game, making money with cannabis. So it's only right that we take some of that proceeds that we making, however much you feel like you could give back. Man, I'm not gonna judge nobody on that. Mm-hmm. But to me, I feel it's only right that we give back to our community here in DC, exactly. Washington, DC. That means taking care of our own, our homeless, our needy, our young. You know what I'm saying? So anytime an event like this comes up, I'm always willing to definitely be a part of it for sure, man, and lend a hand to hand where I can. Like I said, man, I know a lot of people. It's easy to look at somebody on the streets begging for change and shit. You know, I'm not talking about them dudes at the gas station always hanging out and shit. I'm talking about motherfuckers really begging for change because they need it. You see what I'm saying? And it's really easy for us to overlook that because a lot of us are not in that situation. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But unless you've been through it or know a family member or anybody that's really struggling, man. You
all it takes is one like bad day at work in 30 days and you could be in the same situation.
Man, I know people that got 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying, and but their credit is bad. And you know what I'm saying, they love the money, but they always use the credit check and then they find out, you know what I'm saying, that you don't pay your bills on time. Mm-hmm. You in the same situation. Or, you know what I'm saying, you get locked up, you know what I'm saying, and then you come out of jail, they gotta put you in the program. And you gotta wear, you know what I'm saying, the ankle bracelet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I salute the 2nd and D, 801, Adams Shelter, you know what I'm saying, Central Union Mission, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I've been through all of them, you know what I'm saying? And trust me, and this is the reason why I came into the cannabis community. I'm gonna take my glass off because this is real shit. I came into this cannabis community, you know what I'm saying, because I believe that this plant, you know what I'm saying, can help these brothers, you know what I'm saying, that's smoking K2 out here today. That are dipping K2. Now, you know what I'm saying, like my brother was saying, like y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all benefiting money, you know what I'm saying, from us. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, these people that voted for Initiative 71 were the ones, you know what I'm saying, that was in the shelter because they were sick and tired of, you know what I'm saying, being on the PO pack and they, you know what I'm saying, they still smoking that shit, you know what I'm saying, today. They, you know what I'm saying, because of the simple fact that they cannot get in this cannabis, you know what I'm saying, industry because, you know what I'm saying, they got the, you know what I'm saying, they got a felony, you know what I'm saying, because of the simple fact they had a possession. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, like, it's just like Scrogger said, you know what I'm saying, if you want to continue being a cotton picker, that's you. But at the end of the day, you're going to give something back to this community. Because this community, you know what I'm saying, made sure, you know what I'm saying, and I ain't talking about the cannabis community, I'm talking about the DC community voted for this to happen.
What's up, Low Screen Thumb on IG?
Yo.
Everybody else in the chat right here on YouTube for sure. Now look, like I was saying, look, like all this is really, really for a good cause, man. This is great. I'm down to have fun for whatever, especially, like I said, man, we doing what we can out here in the cannabis community, the cannabis game, man. So it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun movement.
And the proceeds, you know what I'm saying, are going towards, you know what I'm saying, building new, you know what I'm saying, houses, you know what I'm saying, for the people that can't afford, you know what I'm saying, these gentrification prices right now, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, man, salute to all them guys, you know what I'm saying, out there, man, that's giving back, man.
Shout out, okay, with that being said, that's gonna wrap our week up, right?
Yeah.
Right quick, because we gotta get into us today. But shout out to Capital Skunk on IG. I walked up in the studio today, blessed me with this J right here. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what this is?
It's a Day Wrecker Sour Bubble Cross.
And shout out to the live studio audience, man. I'm always blessed. I come in here, I don't be really expecting nobody. It's always people here coming through, want to catch my show. I really appreciate it. Shout out to the live studio audience. Now, the topic for the night.
Hey.
No-till gardening. Now, I want to shout out a few people that led me into this type of gardening. Starting out with Brown Guy 420, Mountain Organics, Clackamas Coop, Jeff Lowenfeld, Laura Ingram. It's a lot of other people out there. I could go on and on, right? But these people that I mentioned, I put this note here together that what I'm talking about tonight from experts from these people, and they also send you to, like if you don't believe what they're saying, they send you to references, universities, references and universities that done the studies on a lot of the things that I'm talking about tonight.
All right.
But to begin with is what I want to say is what all of this comes down to is creating your soil, taking care of your soil, nurturing, stimulating, cultivating, and cultivating the diversity of the life in the soil so that it flourishes, reproduces, connects together, and creates its own diverse ecosystem. Now, what the first slide that I'm going to show you is a base soil mix. So go ahead and show them that, Jacob. And that's our first basic soil mix. Now, the first three parts that you see is 1 part Canadian sphagnum peat moss, 1 part compost, and with the compost you could use whatever your preference is, right? I got up here Malibu's and Oli mountain fish compost. Those are good. They come highly recommended. Okay. And then 1 part pumice or lava rock, which is your aeration.
Okay.
Now this right here, this 3 basic parts of recipe is the foundation, meaning that it's the foundation of an organic base. Now, from this point on, whether you decide to do super soil, whether you decide to be TLO, no-till, hugelculture, and a few others that goes into this organic growing, that's where the next part come in at, which is your amendment. Now, this is the basic. This is just the basic amendments. This for starting out is great. Nothing wrong with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of routine, right?
Hey.
So you do those by those measurements right there. And those are your measurements for your soil. For your no-till organic soil, right? This isn't a super soil. This mix right here is not a super soil, so to say, hugelculture and all those other ones that I mixed. This is specifically for no-till. Now, if you wanted to do a super soil, what you would be changing is your amendments. So you'll be adding alfalfa, maybe some guanos, some blood meal, etc. You know, whatever your choice may be. With the amendments, it's definitely your choice from that point on.
As to which way you're going.
As to which way you're going at, or what you want to add into your soil. But keep in mind that certain things that you do add into your soil will make your soil hot, meaning that you have to let your soil rest and aerate for a few weeks before you can actually plant any plants in there. With this mix right here, you don't have to worry about that at all.
Okay.
Once you mix this mix right here, you're ready to go off the break.
Okay.
So this, like I said, this is just the basic mix.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna take you to slide 2, and I'm gonna show you how you could play with it. You see what I'm saying? Slide 2 is my mix. Now remember, I showed you 1 part Canadian sphagnum peat moss. I'm sorry, y'all. 1 part compost and 1 part pumice.
Right.
So what I did is I broke it down. I kept my sphagnum peat moss. Mm-hmm. Now keep in mind, if you don't want to use sphagnum peat moss, you don't have to. A lot of people don't like it or whatever the case may be. You go with cocoa or anything similar to that routine or that route. Okay. Then my next part was compost, and in my compost, I use Malibu compost, which now they starting to have out here in our hydro stores. I went with the Coast of Maine, which is one of my favorites for sure, and that's the lobster compost from the Coast of Maine. And I also went with Leafy Organic. Now it's still 1 part. I just made that 1 part all equal. You understand what I'm saying?
Why do you like the Maine lobster so much?
Because it's easy accessible.
Okay.
It's what we represent out here in DC as far as crabs and shellfish and all that goes. You feel what I'm saying? So to me, it's an East Coast thing. So
it's non-personal.
to me, that's how I look at
and
it.
That's why, and I realized that too, because it's very it's accessible. You know what I'm saying, for you to get that compost, whereas though the other compost is from Malibu.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of no-till. Supposed to be self-sustainable and easy to get to. You know, it's not supposed to be hard. So like I said, the compost, you can go whichever route you went. This is the route that I went. And it's also part Leafy Organic compost. Now, that's your cheapest. Really? Like, that's your cheapest. You get that for like $5 a bag, a cubic foot. Okay. Or a cubic and a half, it might be. Now, it's still great. You could just use that, or you could use all 3, or you could add whatever you want. That's your favorite compost. Now, the next part was my aeration, which is your pumice, lava rock, and I went with also vermiculite and rice hull. That all makes 1 part for my aeration, because I like a variety of things, you see what I'm saying, which is going to make a more diversified soil for me. So with the amendments, I kept almost everything the same. Now what I changed was what I changed on here was the malted barley. No, the malted barley was there on the last one for sure. What I changed on here was the Tennessee. Yeah, the Tennessee brown rock is the only thing I really changed on here. And that is us. I got that from Big Worm, man, from at Cannabis DC. He turned me on to the Tennessee brown rock, and it's a great source of phosphorus, I believe. If you out there in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what it is. He definitely done his research on it. I stand behind him on that. That's another no-till fellow grower that's been helping me out as well. So that's why this right here, if you look at it, is what makes my no-till recipe unique. So that's it from there, right? You can go. You can take that off if you want, Jacob. Now, it's important to remember that the soil you build is in constant motion, and that motion multiplies as time goes by. The process managed mostly by microscopic life, which is what I like to call the true farmers in the soil. It's really amazing. Now, mulching and top dressing is very important to a no-till garden. Mulching returns organic material and nutrients to the soil, and is what drives the process. What is continuous is what drives the process, and what is the continual source of organic matter into the soil, and the food source for soil, which life, and the food source for soil life, which in turn end up on the plants, which in turns ends up on the plants that you will grow. I'm sorry, y'all. Now, planting a cover crop at the beginning of each cycle is highly recommended. The added roots throughout the topsoil also aerates and harbors soil life itself through the exudates in which the cover crop roots excretes. Once the cover crop becomes established, It then dies back under a full canopy. Through its death becomes mulch and is completely incorporated back into the soil. A cover crop also has the added benefits of being the first line of defense of detecting an infestation. So if you have a cover crop, you got you have mites, spider mites, whatever may have you, you're gonna catch them at the bottom first, and you're gonna see them build up there. So that's another benefit to having a cover crop. So
have you ran into that?
With mites?
Yeah.
I definitely have. Okay. I've had my experience with them. They're a nightmare. I always recommend IPM them. A lot of people that grow take that for granted, but it's very, very important to be ahead of the game instead of behind it.
Okay. You
see what I'm saying? So it's always treat your garden as if you have pests, and you don't have to worry about them.
That's a good way of thinking about that too.
Now, enzymes begins to break down your mulch and top dress materials, converting it back to a more basic material to then be consumed by bacterial, fungi, actinomycetes, and that is an anaerobic bacteria noted for its filamentous and branching growth pattern that results in an extensive colony that we know as mycelium. Starches to sugar, for example, in the case of amylase, it's an enzyme that converts starch to simple sugar. The sugar then being readily consumed by bacteria, arthropods, such as springtails, millipedes, roly-polies, and a long list of soil mites, along with yet more microbes, also facilitate the destruction of organic matter, your mulch, which is converted into what we know as humus. It is now available for your worm community to come to the surface and consume. Now, this is where the worm power comes into play. In the worm's gut, it is further broken down via an enzymatically driven process, including enzymes, creating bacteria that resides in the guts of the worm to further move the process along. This deconstructed organic matter then passes through the worm and is deposited throughout the soil, providing a constant source of aeration in the process. The worm castings left behind are now humus, which is perfectly compartmentalized with greater surface coverage, allowing for an increase of further microbial activity. Nutrient and mineralized stability, and both made available nutrients are now mineralized and stabilized, and both made available to the plant, stored away in the organic compounds for long haul. Think slow release nutrients. Enzymes, humus are all increased in quality and quantity because of its natural process, along with encouraging further diversity and activity in the microbial community. So, you can see the benefits of no-till when thinking long-term, improving nutrient retention, microbial stimulations, and an ideal medium for optimal plant growth. You see how the concept of feeding this or that specific time in the plant's life becomes irrelevant. The sad concept of flushing provides utterly pointless and even detrimental in a no-till situation. Can you see how the extreme of soil change over time by these trillions of life forms, and when left in place, to thus structure be when left in place, thus structure to be the perfect communal home for roots, soil, and soil alike. You see the soil is 100% alive, and it's in constant motion, in a constant state of being, deconstructed and reconstructed, all in perfect form for plants not just to thrive, but allowed to grow with the highest level of nutrition, medicinal content, and secondary plant metabolisms, including cannabinoids, terpenes, terpenoids, and chitins, etc., etc. The plant of your choice that you are growing being completely irrelevant. So the main key and the main point of this is that the no-till, you don't, like I said, you take care of the soil, and the soil to take care of the plant. The plant will derive what they want from the soil. So we got 30 minutes left. I'm gonna show you how I created my soil, my no-till mix.
Definitely like to know that.
And we got a video on that, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my time with my with the studio audience, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. All right, y'all. So look, check this out. We're doing a no-till organic mix today. We're doing it in this way because we're doing such a big bulk of it. So what we're doing is we're gonna mix the aeration first, then we're gonna do the compost and peat moss, and then we do the amendments. And then what the plan is, everything's mixed well. We mix everything back together into itself. So we're gonna start with the aeration, and what we got here is rice hull. For anybody that wants to actually see what it looks like. And what we're mixing is 70 cubic feet. That's what we're mixing today. I have the other 30% of our mix that we need over there. It's already mixed. That's my old soil. So that's why we're making 70 cubic feet. We're breaking that down to 24 cubic feet per section. So meaning 24 cubic feet aeration, 24 cubic feet compost, and 24 cubic feet worth of amendments. So everything's going to be done in bulk. Like I said, this is the rice hull. This is your vermiculite. Vermiculite, this is what it looks like. That's what that looks like. Now the vermiculite, I never actually put this in my soil mix, but I've been doing research on it and I like it. What this does, it helps keep the soil aerated, and it also stores nutrients in it as well. So it's a good form of storing your nutrients and aerating your soil. So I'm going with that as well. And of course, humus. That's what this looks like. Kind of similar if you look at it, but this is actually a rock. This won't degrade at all. So these are all the aeration. Of course, your favorite, or everybody's favorite that they hate the most. It's your lava rock. And this is what's going to compose all of our aeration part of our soil mix. I'm not doing the measurements, like I said, we're doing all this in bulk. So all this is going to measure up to 24 cubic feet. If you have any questions, leave any comments on the section and I may be able to answer them on a smaller scale. Alright, thank you. So this is the part we're going to speed up in the video.
Hey, Lil Africa, what you about to do? Hey, man, I'm about to go. Man, let me hit the J. I'm about to go right now home to the computer to go and watch the DC Pharma Show.
Shout out to Good Hope. I'm hydroponic. Right there, Good Hope Road. Next to the big agriculture transit on 50th. Southside. Definitely look out for us getting 10% off all these amendments. And variation and some of the stuff that we couldn't actually get. We came through. Shout out to Good Hope. Hydroponics.
Boy, learn the cultivation, to get a vicious harvest. The night light, solar system, night, loud color, light bright. Smoke a straight night flight. Master J the Mike, he go night.
Yeah, so just breaking this down, we got a total of 7 cubic feet of rice hulls, with 8 cubic feet of vermiculite, 6 cubic feet of the pumice, and we have 3 cubic feet of the lava rock. So just made it easier to do this, just to dump full bags, and give a really nice diversity, and you know, different sizes, shapes, materials. That's what DC Pharma is going for here.
Universal acceptance of the plant. We don't deal with partial acceptance of Rastafari, and that is what Babylon are coming now. They want to accept parts of the plant, and you don't do that.
It's really
Because
inexpensive.
you don't accept
But when you do buy this and you mix the soil, please stay to the recommended amount that you're supposed to have in your mix, because when you overdo the rice hull and your soil mix, what end up happening is if you're using it for vegging out, if you use it for anything, if you overmix too much rice hulls, your soil will dry out too quick. And anything you grow, your soil will just dry out extremely too quick. So that's why it's important to keep all the measurements in mind when we're making this mix.
All of that have economical origins, which means a man knows say this part of the plant can make money for me, the rest of it can't make money for me, so the rest of it bad. No, all of the plant good, brethren, all down to the root. Yeah. Grade never hurt nobody, let her be free from the earth, no daddy. Yeah. Rock me nice and easy, rock me nice and slow. In the early morning, you turn me on, so let the good times roll. Say them try to separate me no wanna crack for smoke. Give me the ital in my brain and let it light up in my dome. And I'm me alone one, steaming the sensei every time. And I'm me alone one, burning every time. Oh, I said give me the highest grade, I beg you, oh, it's the perfect tree. Let it light up in my brain, my brother was strictly earth for me. No, my marijuana, it's the perfect tree. Love my marijuana.
All right, y'all, this is the compost part, and this is what we're using. That's leafy. It's the cheapest bag right here. It's 100% organic. You get this at your local nursery. We go from the cheapest one to the most expensive one, which is Bud Malibu Compost Buzz Blend. This is super right here. You want this. Now, if I could, this is the whole, I would use this as my whole compost. But like I said, this mix is so big, and my pockets ain't that deep yet, y'all. I'm working on it.
We're paying $25 a bag on the East
Huh?
Coast.
Oh, yeah, and then the next compost we got, which is my favorite, it's not that expensive. It's in between both. And this is my favorite because I feel this is that you can find locally at any nursery. And this is the coast of Maine lobster compost. And this is for all your East Coast growers, man. Y'all need to get this. I love it. But I'm gonna show y'all the difference right here. So I'm guessing this is the leafy compost.
So this is Malibu.
This the Malibu.
That's made from bedding and of dairy cows, organic dairy cows, shit and bedding right there. So you can see, you can really see that the way it breaks down. So this is all the leaf. This is from leaf growth. So this is yard waste, good stuff such as leaves, grass clippings.
It's all organic too, y'all.
It's a local company. They do
local company. That's the cheapest bag right there.
You can see the lobster, they definitely use sticks, so you can see some of the, they use some wood in there. You can see it there, and then they use the lobster waste as their nitrogen source. So it's completely got different colors, so you can see the completely different color blend.
Yep. Now, with these composts, you don't have to use all three. You could use whatever you like, whatever you think is your favorite. But how we doing it, we're gonna use all three. We're gonna use the cheap brand, or the cheap brand right here, the most expensive brand right here, and the in-between brand right here. And that's what it looks like. And we got a whole lot of it to break down and mix up on the tart.
Lock up in a prison, oh, lock them up for no reason. Still be planting herb for all season. Autumn, winter, summer, spring. I'm in a Johnny bag of long talking. But I'm often put back on it and we ride the rhythm. Grab up the microphone and me say what I sing thing. Enough say them a rap but Jaja no say man a sing. Enough say them a prince but Jaja no say man a king. Teflon a veteran in a the marijuana thing. Them man they have the carpet, we call him Aladdin. Float down in the sky and no crash landing. Well I'm often put back on it man no crash landing. pass me herb, I defend something. Give me my chalice, I defend some. East. Yeah. I never know this strictly herbs, you know. Holistically. Herb for food, herb for thought. Herb for meditation, herb for medication. East. Yeah. For what is a tree without roots? That's why we say roots and chalice, you know. Cause the chalice is what? Open your eyes so you can discover your roots. Peace.
But look at it now. You walked it. You see how evenly mixed it looks now? One nice uniform color, no more. 3 different colors. That's what you want to shoot for. This is the finished pile all mixed up. This is the finished material. Now over here, what we have is the peat moss. The peat moss is a mix. This is our aeration mix you see us make earlier. This is our aeration mix. All right, you come over here. This is our compost mix. And that's my old soil, my old no-till soil that I done ran for 3 cycles now. So now this is what we're doing. To make sure we have an even mix in our bed. We have a bucket of this for the compost. A bucket of that for the aeration. And a bucket of that for your peat moss. So then we spread that over here to have our even mix. So once we mix this, like this, what I'll do, because it's simpler this way when you make it in small batches. So you walk it, right out of the corner, walk it back, right that corner, walk it back, spread it back out real thin, walk it again, mix it. You got great mix. But what I haven't told you yet is that you come over here, these are all our minerals. So if you're doing 1 cup of each of those, this is our kelp. So you're gonna need 1 cup of that. This is our crab meal. 1 cup of this. This is our neem. So it looks like 1 cup of that. Karanja, 1 cup of that. This is your bay salt, your rock dust, however you want to call it. Now your rock dust, you want 3 cups of that in the mix. Now, this is your gypsum. Now with your gypsums, you want 1 cup of that. This is the pelletized form, so this also help with aeration as well. And this is your gypsum. Now this right here, you won't see a lot of people put this in a mix. This is what makes me and Big Worms mix a little special. This is your Tennessee brown rock. Tennessee brown rock, and what this is good for is for that phosphorus. This is great for that. So at that, we're gonna use that a cup as well. Then what we got is some malted barley that we grind up. I'll show you the cup of that in a minute. We grind up and one of these, and you want 2 cups of that, of your malted barley. So this right here is our next amendment. Now you want 2 cups of this after you grind it. Malted barley, y'all. Great enzymes, tonic content in it as well. But you grind it up on one of these. Doesn't have to be super fine because we're mixing this in the soil. 2 cups of that. Now you take all those and you mix them up in the bucket, and you mix all your amendments in here as well. So all this is everything in here. It's our amendments, our aeration, our compost, our peat moss, And you can see how porous our soil is. You see it. That's how you want it. And that's what your end result's gonna be. Now since I have let me show y'all, let me show them my old soil over here. This is biochar too, forgot to show you that. That goes in our soil mix as well. That's the biochar, that's what that looks like. But this right here, that's my old no-till mix for 3 cycles now. We don't throw nothing away, man. This is black gold right here. This is gold. It's been rained on and everything. But to make sure we get an even mix, what we're gonna do with this is, to each pot, we're putting 3 buckets of our mix in there and mixing them up in our bed. So that's how we working that out. So when we finish putting it together, y'all see where we at with it. Okay, y'all, this is the malted barley, grind it up. Go ahead. This is 2 cups of it, grind it up. That's what it looks like. That's the malted barley. Then grind up another cup. All right. So that's 4 cups all together. Like I said, we double dosing. So I know I told y'all 1 cup, and it is 1 cup. But since I'm doing double doses, I'm doubling up whatever it's called for. So the next joint we got right here is kelp. And the kelp we're gonna do at 2 cups. There go 1 cup. And this is our amendment mixture. 2 cups. It's our crab meal. 2 cups of this as well. 1 cup. 2 cups. Alright. That's our neem. 1 cup of neem. That's our karanja. 1 cup of karanja. So our amendment mix. Rock dust. We're gonna do 6 cups of this. Remember, we're doubling up, so that's why I'm doing 6. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6 cups. Our Gimson. 1 cup of that. Tennessee Brown Rock. 1 cup of that. And we already did our malted barley. So that's everything. Now that's all our amendment mixtures right there. What you're gonna do with this, mix this up real good in the bucket. That way you can contain all that dust and stuff that fly around. I really should have a mask on, I don't. This is a way of doing it without spreading all that in there, in the air. See it? It's all mixed up in there real good. I'm gonna show you how we mix it all up, y'all. As you can see, we've been at this all day. Sun going down a little bit, it's getting a little cooler, but we still out here getting it done. Still doing the lasagna style. Which one you looking for? The amendments? That's it right here. All the amendments mixed in together. We'll put half of that.
Heavenly OG, Girl Scout cookies, Indian Dream, Camp Dog, OG Kush, White Widow, Granddaddy Purple, Green Crack, Bubba Kush, AK-47. train wreck, blue cheese, lemon haze, strawberry cough, super silver haze, blackberry kush, master kush, Skywalker OG, God's gift, LA Confidential. Buckle your seatbelt, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
This ain't no regular J. This that super unleaded. Watch me set it ablaze. I don't even blame you niggas. Y'all just set in y'all ways. Don't get jammed up and wake up with a tech in your face. This a marathon, Slim. Don't get left in the race. Trump bitch ass. Wanna see the death of my race. My OG, that G.O. Sour smelling like B.O. Matrix loud, no Neo. Linkin Park with my amigo. You can't blaze without puff, nigga. You used to that huff, nigga. Lemon haze had them stuck, nigga. Baby lungs can't fuck with ya. I'm in the building like fuck the system. I'm puffing ism. I'm a fucking menace. Cause I slumped the witness. When I smoke, don't get you high. So nigga, mind your fucking business. Slow down. My bad, in high school, I was in high class. Graduated with a 3.5. Now the teachers buy my gas. Ride past, 12, middle finger erect. Fuck 'em. Pharma got a new strain, so we gon' puff it.
All I wanna do is smoke my gas. You hating ass niggas never last. Why y'all busy dwelling on the past? I'm smoking on that pressure, counting cash. All I wanna do is smoke my gas. You hating ass niggas.
Alright, y'all, finished messing up the soil. The day done got away from us. It's getting dark. Super tired, man. Got a few more buckets to bring in to fill up. Too tired today to finish it up, to be honest with you. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'll show you how the rest went. But this is how it's going so far. We still got some more soil to put in here, but we tapping out for the night, y'all. Yeah, I didn't know if I showed y'all the mini split or whatever. I go to mini split up. Wires going out through the back. This I kept inside to collect the runoff water to use for watering the plants as well. Nothing goes to waste. Yeah, that's what we looking like so far. Got a lot of cleaning up to do. It's a dirty day today. That's when you're dealing with soil.